Subhash.
Hi, can you hear me? Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome to this talk.
Sorry, I was on mute. That's why I guess you all could not hear me. Is it okay now? You all can all hear me
No,
now?
no problem. So, friends and ma'am speaker, I welcome you all for this today's talk. So, Priyadarshini, please take a brief introduction about the speaker.
It's a pleasure to start this auspicious occasion by heartily welcoming everybody. I heartily welcome our honorable speaker, Ms. Anindita Chatterjee. She is a very passionate globetrotter who has been to 65 countries and is now the founder of Travel Chatter. She is also a marketing professional with over 16 years of experience in leading multi-category and brands, primarily with Hindustan Unilever Ltd, a proven track record in driving growth, developing communication and mixes that are designed to win consumers' preferences in a large competitive environment. Anindita attributes her success as a marketer to her strong skills in her passion to constantly innovate driven from strong consumer empathy, leading his leading high performance teams, stakeholder influencing with strong result orientation and bias for action. I hope you are all very excited to hear her words. Hence, I stop here and leave the forum to her. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. Firstly, I'm really excited to be addressing all of you. I know it's been a little last minute deciding everything, but I hope the time that we have together is put to good use, and I hope you all learn a lot. I am really happy that I am talking to 26 people. Yeah, there are 26 of you all right now, and you all are the brilliant leaders of tomorrow. I have been conducting a lot of workshops and webinars for students, so I'm really happy that I'm doing this with you all as well. And I hope all of you are doing well. I know the times are very difficult, and it's been very difficult to be homebound and be locked up in a house for so many months. And talk to me, tell me about it. I had so many plans this year. So 2020 was supposed to be the year of my travel. I had to cancel almost 6 to 7 trips that I had planned. So of course it's a sad scene, but then it's all about staying positive, and it's all about moving ahead with whatever life gives us, and not sitting and brooding about it because there's not much we can do. Just to again give you a brief introduction about me, which of course the host just mentioned, but yeah, so I am a marketeer. I have worked in companies like Unilever. I've worked in HUL for almost 9 years. I have worked in Pest Control India as their Chief Marketing Officer, which was my last job in February. I have overall 16 years of work experience in this field in marketing. I'm an electrical engineer. I have done my MBA from Narsi Monji Institute in Mumbai. I am born and brought up in Calcutta, and I have been living in Mumbai for the last 16 years now. So it's pretty much from Bombay that I am. No, I'm no more say I'm from Calcutta now. I say I'm from Bombay. And other than that, of course, I'm a super passionate travel lover. I have been traveling all across the world. I have been to 65 countries so far. And I have 4 years back launched my own travel blog. My website is called travelchatter.in, and I am known in Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram. I'm known on Instagram as travel.chatter. So that's how I am popularly known as travel.chatter. So yeah, it's been a great journey. Now, it was just in the month of Feb that I have quit my job full time, and I am full time working on Travel Chatter. I plan to take Travel Chatter to the next level. Of course, it takes a lot of courage and guts to quit your job and do this full time, but I have decided to do that for the next few months. Today I am going to, of course, other than traveling, also talk to you all a little bit about social media marketing. So how have I managed to bring Travel Chatter where it is today, right? So obviously it takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of planning to be where I am and to be able to quit my job and do this full time. Other than traveling, a few other hobbies of mine. I am a crazy dog lover. I have 2 dogs at home, and few of you all who are already following me on Instagram or can look at my Instagram page. My dogs are very popular. So whenever I post any pictures or videos with dogs, they get a lot of engagement. Other than that, I love reading. I am a big time adventure lover. I love trekking or jumping off a plane or scuba diving and things like that. So I am going to quickly take you all through a presentation. And of course, feel free to ask me questions that you have either in the chat box or at the end. I'll quickly present my screen. Yeah, you all can all see my screen, right?
No, ma'am.
Can you all see my screen now?
Yeah, ma'am.
It's not presenting, ma'am.
Oh, it's showing to me that I'm sharing my screen.
And you could see, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
You'll have to go and pin where you see me talking, you'll have to pin on that, then you'll probably see the video, the presentation. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Like I gave an introduction, so I'm going to skip this slide. So of course, my passion is travel. I love traveling. And these are few of the pictures of my travel. So I have, and obviously because I'm so passionate about it, that's why I do it, right? So I have gone to Uganda in the jungles of Africa, where I've gone and met mountain gorillas like these, which was absolutely a life-changing experience. I have traveled solo to Argentina and I've gone trekking this glacier all by myself in Argentina. Again, an awesome experience. Like I said, I'm an adventure lover. I have jumped off planes. I have gone scuba diving. I have gone fishing for piranhas in the Amazon forest. And this is a video in Costa Rica where I have jumped into waterfalls. Yeah. So these are few of the crazy things I've done. So whenever I travel, I totally believe in always pushing myself out of my comfort zone. That's my main thing, that whenever I travel, I have to come back as a better version of myself. I should have done something new which I've never done before. And this doesn't just apply to traveling. I think it can apply to everything in our lives, right? We always have to keep pushing ourselves to do something better, to become a better person than we were yesterday. It could be by just being kind towards people. It could be by learning something new. It could be by doing something for others and helping others. But it's all about how do you make yourself better from yesterday. These are few pictures of mine in the Amazon rainforest where I've stayed with locals, I have cooked with locals, and I've watched some beautiful sunsets. I have gone to countries like Peru where I've climbed up this rainbow mountain at 17,000 feet. This is a picture from Germany where I had gone to see the fall colors, and this is with locals. This is a few pictures again from Portugal. Portugal again being one of my favorite countries. I had done a solo bike trip there. So I traveled solo and I actually went on a scooty ride all by myself. And I rode almost 200 kilometers in one day. So this was again a very big achievement for me and something I'm really, really proud of. I also trekked to places like South America. This is the 7 Rila lakes in Bulgaria. So, there's this great feeling of contentment when you tick off another dream destination, right? And this is exactly what I had set out to do. Through a lava cave tour. So, after all of this, now there is so many countries that I've been to, 65 countries, I realized that I have to start sharing my experiences with the rest of the world. I have to tell people how have I managed to follow my passion, which is travel, despite having a full-time job, right? They are two very, very different things. I had to handle a full-time job and I want to travel. So how have I managed to do that? I started sharing all of that on a platform, which is my website, and hence Travel Chatter was born. This is my website, travelchatter.in, where I put down my articles. I was featured on radio. I was live exactly a year back on 94.3, where I was interviewed about my travel stories. That is also there on my website. This is my Instagram and my Facebook page. Like I said, on Instagram, I'm known as travel.chatter. I have 11.3K followers right now. And, when I talk about social media marketing, now when you want to create a community, so for me, I want to create a community of people who are keen to follow their passion, right? So like I said, for me, my passion is travel. Not necessarily for you, it has to be travel. It could be singing, it could be reading, it could be dancing, it could be anything, it could be cooking. But I want to build a community of people who will go that extra mile to follow their passion. Now, in order to do that, my first step was creating the website. And my next step was how do I then populate myself on social media. Now, in social media, obviously, what I need is reach and engagement. I need people like you, brilliant 30 students like you, to follow me on Instagram, to follow me on Facebook, and learn from what I'm doing on a daily basis, to learn. Also, I give a lot of tips on, I am not a billionaire. I don't mint money that I have traveled to 65 countries, but no, it's all about planning it well. Trust me, people think traveling abroad is very expensive. It's not. It's all about how you plan. There are a lot of tips like, doing your tickets well in advance, staying in hostels, staying in places which are not very expensive. Whatever money you have, spend that more on experiences. I will not waste any money shopping. So there are a lot of tips and things that I follow which helps me travel so much. So I try and talk about that on my Instagram and on my Facebook. Now, what's very important is when you are getting into content creation. So for me, I am a digital content creator, right? I create videos, I create posts, I create stories. So the most important part for me firstly was to build my website. I had to build my website. So for that, things that I did, pick the right domain name, and hence I picked Travel Chatter. When you write, be extremely genuine. Think about why you want to blog and be true to that. When you start blogging, whether it's a food blog, travel blog, adventure blog, reading blog, anything, I think any article must be minimum 1,000 to 1,200 words. And there are different platforms. Like I use WordPress, but there are different platforms that people can use to build their website. But the most important thing about building your website is have a beautifully designed blog which reflects you. Your website has to be a personality of you. In your website, very important to have an about me section and a work with me section. Now the about me section will tell people who come on your website about you, and the work with me section will tell people about what all that you have done so far. So these are a few things that are very, very important when you're building a website. This is what the backend of my WordPress website looks like. This is the work with me section on my website. So like I said, your website, you have to sell yourself as a brand, right? So I will talk about all the brand endorsements that I've done. So for example, Malta Tourism was my 60th country and they invited me to visit their country. So I will talk about that in my brand endorsement. I have endorsed a lot of hotels. I will talk about that. I have done a lot of talk shows, So I've been there with Jam with Sam. I am a part of the Outstanding Speakers Bureau. So I will mention all of this so that people who come onto my site, they know exactly what I stand for. Moving on to how to attract followers on social media. Now, I'm assuming all of you are on Instagram, right? Because Instagram is one of the most popular platforms to be on. So given all of you are on Instagram, there are a few tips and tricks that I will share with you on how to do social media marketing. Firstly, your bio. This is my bio. You have to optimize it. Your bio must be very crisp, very sharp, and people who come onto your profile should know exactly what you are and what your brand stands for. Have a good profile photo, maintain a nice grid. So this is called the grid on Instagram, and the kind of pictures that you put should be attractive enough so that people want to go ahead and see it. And always add a link to your website. This is an old screenshot. I have my website there now, but always add a link to your website so that people can actually drive people to your website from your Instagram. Now, Instagram has something called as stories, which I'm sure all of you know. Now, use your stories a lot, and it's there for 24 hours. Keep it real. Use there are templates like Canva and Unfold where you can build your stories. Use relevant hashtags. Now, hashtags are very important to crack the game on Instagram. Work on trending topics. Whatever your stories are, always save them on your highlights. And you want to look for engagement. So if I have 11,500 followers on Instagram and around 20,000 followers on Facebook, I will ensure that I will engage with my followers. I will ask them questions. I will ask them to DM me, right? I'll ask them to message me so that my engagement keeps going up. These are few story formats. So on Instagram, I will ask questions to people and ask them to ask me questions. The questions that they ask, I will put up a good picture. These are my 2 dogs, and I will write them an answer. These are few stories. I had gone to Georgia, and this is an excellent location, so I put up this story. Now, all of you who follow me on Travel Chatter on Instagram must be knowing that I have started Travel Chatter Learning Live series. So every Thursday and Friday, I go live from my Instagram handle where I chat with my followers, and I get a guest and I chat with that guest who adds value to my followers, right? So today, as soon as I finish at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be going live on Instagram with another platform called the Wandering Educators, and they'll be interviewing me. Now, going live is basically a way to engage more with your followers, which is again very important. I'm also part of live storytelling, and I had done that a few months back. So that's something that I'm talking about on my stories as well. Now, your posts. Now on social media, especially if we're talking about Instagram, you have to be very consistent. Now, if you look at my post on Instagram, it's all about being consistent. If you're posting 5 days a week, ensure you post 5 days a week and don't make it 1 day a week. So always be consistent. You have to keep checking your insights. Now, a lot of you must be having a private profile. Now, if you want to become a brand, right? If you want to build a brand on social media, you have to convert your profile into a business profile. It's very easy to go to settings and do it. Now, once you're a business profile or a creator profile, you will have access to these insights. You will be able to see where your audience is from, which cities are they from, what is their age group, which time of the day are they most active, and accordingly use those insights to start posting on social media. Few of you can also look at promoting your posts on social media, which also drives traffic to your blog or to your websites. Moving on, brand collaborations. Now, travel is my passion, but a passion becomes a profession only when you start making money. Unless it makes money, it's not a profession because you can't survive without making money, right? So, for me to make money, I reach out to brands or brands reach out to me and we do tie-ups, right? So over here, for example, this is a tie-up I did with Airtel when I was in New York, where I was promoting international roaming for them. This is a brand called Bakes and Batters, which makes cakes and tarts and cookies. And it is basically by my sister. This brand is run by my sister. So we had got into a tie-up where while I was in Costa Rica in December, she was distributing these sweet cake boxes to my closest friends in Mumbai. So I would then put this up as a brand collaboration with her. So always be very particular. The brands that you tie up with should be brands that you want to tie up with, not just any brand that approaches you. At the beginning, you will write to 100 brands and maybe only 5 will reply. Do not get disheartened. You have to keep at it. That's the only way you can succeed. You have to be patient because growing on Instagram takes a lot of time. And be very particular and very transparent with the brand on what is it that you can do for the brand. Don't oversell your deliverables. These are few of the brand collaborations that I have done. So this is at a restaurant that I had gone to called Butter Chicken Factory, and I was talking about their food. Now, because I was talking about food, of course, the focus of the camera will have to be on the food. This was some yoga bars that had tied up with me, and this was a Forex card that had tied up with me. So for all of them, I tried and made the story as innovative as I could. So that's just a brief introduction on social media marketing and what not social media can do to help you all grow. So with that, let the circle of influence begin. Now, this is how you will find me. So I also do personal branding and content creation coaching webinars, and they're usually announced on my Instagram stories. I am present as travel.chatter on Instagram, travel chatter on Facebook. This is my email address, and this is my website. So this is just a brief introduction to social media marketing. Of course, if you'll have any more questions, any more detailed things that you'll need from me, you all can always write to me. I am the most active on Instagram, and that's the best place to reach me. So that's pretty much what I had from my side. I was told by Saurabh that I should actually keep more time for questions and answers. So I will hand it over to you all to ask me whatever questions and answers that you all have.
Yes, ma'am. It's a very impressive slides, ma'am. that you have gone for many countries and visited about 65 countries, ma'am.
Yes.
So, ma'am, we are very impressed with you for this, ma'am. But from my side, there is a questions, ma'am. We are starting the social medias and all, ma'am. But when we start, we will think that we will learn more and we will learn more. What mistakes you have done from that, ma'am?
Mistakes that I've done from
Yeah.
this. Okay. So a lot of mistakes. Yeah, when I started out, there were tons of mistakes that I made. Like I would not, when I started with social media. No, you want to know mistakes that I've made in social media or in general in life?
In general, ma'am.
Oh,
How we will start social media, ma'am, but the common mistakes we will all do in the social medias. So
oh,
that like you have done any mistakes?
oh, lots of mistakes. So for example, I did my engineering. After my engineering, I should have done my MBA immediately. My dad kept telling me, do your MBA right after engineering. I didn't listen. I was like, no, I want to start working. And once I start working, I'll then probably the need to do an MBA. While in hindsight, it was good because I was on my MBA. My life really important for me to do an MBA. But then, I think if I had done my MBA right after my engineering, maybe my career path would have been a little different. Right. So yeah, no regrets. At the end of the day, I did do my MBA, but maybe doing it right after my engineering would be good. Then something like on travel. So because my passion is about traveling, I love traveling so much. I would have loved it if I would have started travel chatter early on in life. So I was always doing travel chatter while I had a full-time job, right? So it would be good to and I launched travel chatter only in 2016. So it would be good if I could probably start travel chatter a lot earlier, where I would be even happier that I have worked much more on travel chatter than I have right now. So that's something that for sure I would have. I had started working on travel chatter earlier.
Yeah,
So
it's a
the point being, when you know your passion, start working on it early in life.
okay. How will you define a term success in your words, ma'am?
When we
Ma'am, how will you define success in your word?
yes, synonymous with happiness. I think if you're happy in life with what you're doing, that's what success is all about. Success is not based on how much money you're earning. Success is not based on what your designation is, and success is not based on how big the house is. Success just is defined by how happy and content you are in life, whatever you have. It's all about making the most of whatever you have.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, that you have a LinkedIn profile.
Yes.
For students, how we suggest to keep a profile of a LinkedIn for us?
Okay, just 1 second. I'm going to take a picture of this session.
Ma'am, we'll take a screenshot at the last, ma'am, and take a snap, ma'am.
Okay, I'll just take this as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So LinkedIn, I would say that as far as LinkedIn is concerned, it is about, it's very important, right? So LinkedIn, like Instagram, is more about talking about what you're doing in general, but Instagram is a little more professional network, and it's extremely important for everyone to have a good profile on LinkedIn and invest your time in being on LinkedIn. Make the right profile. So you can look at my LinkedIn profile, and I've spent quite a lot of time in making it. And of course, there's a lot more that I can do. Not that it's a perfect profile. There's always scope for improvement. Even just like y'all, I am also still learning every single day. So I would say that be very particular about what you want to write in your LinkedIn, because you are just starting out in life. You are going to only start looking for a job very soon. So talk about your achievements. Don't be shy of your failures. A lot of us actually shy away from our failures. I'm not saying put that up on LinkedIn, but at least when you go for job interviews, be very open and be very transparent, right? And as far as LinkedIn is concerned, you should be following. So figure out the companies that you want to work for. Okay, and once you have figured out what you want to work for, start following those companies. Start seeing what their values are. Start seeing what their brand proposition is. So I think that is something that you must do. LinkedIn for sure. Follow the right people, follow the right companies. I have a message from
Question in the chat box.
you use a lot of content in social media. Among that, what is your favorite? So I will say from marketing perspective, not from a travel blogger perspective, I think few of my brands which do the best job on social media would be Nike. I absolutely love what Nike does. In fact, today itself, Nike launched a brilliant video on sports, and I think they just know exactly how to strike the right chord, because I think for all brands, the most important thing is emotional connect. The moment you can emotionally connect with your consumers, you have got your consumers for life. So it's all about, creating absolutely the right kind of platform, the right kind of video, the right kind of content for your consumers. So Nike would be one of my favorites. Okay, Mahesh Varan is asking, can you tell us unforgettable moments in your travel journey? Oh my God, there's been so many.
Yeah.
But I'll so I showed you a picture of the Amazon forest, right? Where I'm sitting and fishing for piranhas. Piranhas are these deadly fish which have very sharp teeth and they can cut anything, any flesh. They also even eat humans. That's what I'm told. I've seen in movies. So in Amazon forest, one night we went fishing for piranhas, and I loved the piranhas so much. So I got like 3 to 4 piranhas, and the locals with whom we were staying, they actually cooked the piranhas for dinner. And as a souvenir, the local actually gave me the jaw of a piranha as a souvenir. So I carried back from the Amazon forest the jawline of an actual piranha. So that was one of my most unforgettable moments.
There's one more questions.
Yeah, I take them. Pavitra is asking, what interests you travel solo from the country? Really interesting. Keep going, ma'am. Oh, thank you so much, Pavitra. I'm so happy you're liking it. So see, earlier I was very scared of solo travel, and I was very uncomfortable. Kaun solo jayega? Who's going to go solo and sit and eat alone and everything? But trust me, once you start traveling solo, so travel is super fun. Now, at least travel solo. You are more immersed. You're talking to local, or otherwise you're talking to friends that you're with. So traveling a lot me connect a lot of my things. Travel solo, I think a lot about my life, attitude. So there are a lot of ways how religion love travel. MS Vijay Kumar, ma'am, what is your favorite place you have traveled? What is your favorite place you're thinking to go? Okay, my favorite place is Iceland. That is my most favorite country. That's so unique. I would say my favorite place. I love the amount of things that is there to see in India. One lifetime is not enough to see India. Traveling, I would of course travel a lot in India. It's not just about traveling abroad and going to exotic destinations, right? There is so much in your own country, forget country, in your own city. Despite being in Bombay for 16 years, I still find out new places in Bombay I never knew existed. So, when I started earning at 23, I didn't have that much money to travel abroad. At that time, I would just focus on traveling in Mumbai and around Mumbai. And it's amazing the amount of happiness I would get just traveling in Mumbai. So it's not always about international travel. What is your favorite place you to go to? Oh, I really want to go to Antarctica. I don't know when I'll have enough money to go to Antarctica, but that's definitely a place I want to go to. Yeah, Darshini, what are some random facts about you, ma'am? Random facts. Okay, now, what do I tell you? Random facts. I'm a crazy dog lover. I read about. I have a sister, and I who's also big. My mom runs an NGO for that. So I also doing an NGO along with my mom. My mom runs an NGO she runs a school for some children, and I actually help her do as well. And I hate cooking. I love cooking, but I don't like cooking at all. Okay, Suba, any scariest thing happened to you while traveling? Oh, so many things. Once when I was in Spain, I almost got robbed. So I was in Madrid in Spain, and I was again traveling solo, and somebody just snatched my bag while I was getting into a train and ran away. Luckily, I shouted, so he dropped my bag and I got it back. But that was one of my scariest things because that bag had my passport and all my money. So if the bag was gone, I would be stranded in Spain. So yeah, that was one of the scariest things. Which place, Rutuja is asking, which place India will give the feel of Portugal? Bombay itself. I think Bombay has such amazing road trips. Goa, just like I did a scooty ride in Portugal, I would love to. I have done that. Did a scooty in Goa as well. So riding a scooty solo in Goa for so many kilometers will be amazing. So yeah, definitely Goa. Another place in India in the beach, which is one of my favorite, Andaman Nicobar. One of my most favorite place in India. Sanjay, what is the first country you visited? So the first country I visited was Bangladesh, when I was in school, and then Thailand. Saurabh, what is your strategy to understand the potential customer? What data you need? Well, to understand my potential customer, like I said, I look at my Instagram insights because I'm mostly on Instagram. I'm the most active there. So I go to my Instagram insights, which I showed you all, and that's the only way. That's the only data I have currently to understand my customers. And also on my website. So on my website, I have Google Analytics, and I will look at Google Analytics and try and figure out what is the kind of audience that I'm getting on my website. What is the landing they're coming to? Which is the blog that's appealing to them more? So these are a few things that I'll keep in mind. Shrira Vina. Ma'am, during your one-day travel with your scooty, how could you feel? Oh, I felt amazing. Very, very scared because I've never done that before. So, of course, it was super scary and very adventurous. I didn't know whether I'll be able to do it. But when I came back and after that one full day of a scooty ride, that feeling is amazing. That's when you come back and you feel that, oh, if I could do this, I can do anything in the world. So that's very, very important. That feeling when you're telling yourself that nothing else matters. If I believe in myself, I can completely do it, no matter what in life it is. What are the best places in the world to travel alone? Well, Priyadarshini, I would say there are a lot of places in the world that you can travel alone. In fact, every place in the world can be traveled alone. You just have to be safe. You have to plan really, really well. And you have to definitely, I would say, tie up with locals, get to know from locals what are the best places to visit. But yeah, it's all about being safe. But I think you can go to any country or city alone. Which country or city you suggest for a first-time traveler? Well, as far as city is concerned, I would say Mumbai is a great city. Mumbai is one of my favorite cities in India. And as far as country is concerned, I would say if you're going to start traveling closer home. So for example, go to Thailand. Thailand is one of the easiest places to travel, right? And there are so many Indians over there. So Thailand is there. Then I would say Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is a great country as well. So these are a few countries that you should start with. Abhinav, ma'am, do you have idea to go to Angkor Wat Temple? Yes, I have been to Angkor Wat Temple. I've gone to Cambodia with my parents, and Angkor Wat Temple is amazing, really, really nice, and it's very cheap. Cambodia is super cheap. What's your favorite childhood memory, Venkatesh? My favorite childhood memory would be the amount of pampering that I've got from my sister and my parents, because I am the youngest in the family. And because I'm the youngest, I've always been craving for attention and I've always been very pampered. So my favorite things that my mother and sister would cook for me, when my birthday would come up, they would really throw a nice party and make me feel very special. So being the youngest in the family, all of you who are the youngest or people who have younger siblings, you all know how it is. So I think being the youngest is my favorite childhood memory. What's your favorite travel childhood memory? Oh, okay, travel childhood. So there was this forest close to West Bengal that we had gone. I can't exactly remember the name, but I remember so clearly. I was a little girl then, and I was sitting on my father's shoulders. I was sitting on his shoulders, and we were walking in the forest. And I think that was so beautiful. I can't remember which forest it was, but it was close to where we were staying. And I was just on his shoulders and, traveling inside the forest, and I think that is one of my favorite earliest travel childhood memory that I have. Okay, that's it.
So, ma'am, question, ma'am.
Yeah,
You have traveled around 65 and more countries, ma'am. In
65.
that, yeah, in 65 country, who was the best person who you meet ever, ma'am?
Best person.
Yeah, best person or any you're inspired, ma'am.
So I have a lot
Yeah,
of
you get
friends
inspired.
who travel a lot. So I think my friends really inspire me to travel. And especially when I was in Portugal, and because that was my first solo trip was Portugal, I stayed at a hostel where I stayed with people from across the world. And there was this one friend that I met, and she was from Brazil, and I made really good friends with her. And then we rented a car the next day, and we drove around the coastline of Portugal, and I think that was amazing. That was one of my favorite person. And also when I was in Iceland, I met this couple. The lady was 70 years old and the man was 72 years old, and he had just proposed her and they were going to get married. I think that was super sweet. I mean, imagine at 70 years old they're planning to get married. So that was one of my favorite things that I remember from my travel. Yeah.
Oh, ma'am. Oh, yes. Yeah, you really inspired for us, ma'am. There were one more questions for you, ma'am, in chat box.
Krishna, when you say Sundarbans is a forest you went in childhood. No, what I'm talking about is not Sundarbans. Of course, I have been to Sundarbans, it's beautiful, but that memory of mine is not from Sundarbans, it's from some other place. I just can't remember what. So, guys, also it would be really good if you all could take a picture of the screen and tag me on Instagram. So when you're putting up this picture, tag me at travel.chatter and then I can reshare your story. So it'll be really nice if I could get feedback from you all on what you all think about this workshop. And just take a screenshot. Or
Yeah,
you can
sure.
take a screenshot from your mobile. You can take a picture from your mobile and you can put it up on Instagram and tag me and put a little bit of feedback and I'll share that.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. We will take a snap, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ma'am, can you say cheese so that I can make a pic of you?
Guys, say some cheese, ma'am. Cheese.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, can you say cheese? My friends, someone open your video can open.
Cheese. Can you
I
see?
Cheese, right? Cheese.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Cheese.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yeah, ma'am.
Is there
Yeah,
any way
it's
we
taken.
can get everybody's one sec, I'll take one more as well.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
On my mobile. Okay, thank you guys.
Yeah.
It'd be really nice if I could get feedback from you all. So please do feel free to send me any feedback, and also if you have any questions, please do reach out to me on Instagram.
Guys, we have give one feedback form in the chat box. Please give a feedback for that, guys. Yeah.
Venkatesh
Yeah,
says,
guys.
nice session. Thank you so much, Venkatesh. Rutuja says, what is a place you would love to visit in your 70s? In my 70s, I hope I can go to Mars. I hope by then people have started traveling to Mars, and I hope I can go to Mars by then, or even before that. Shiravina, everyone has a particular inspiration for knowing their person. My impressive experience. I think my first experience, I think the reason that I love my parents, I owe it all to them, and I'm ever so grateful to my parents. It's because my parents that I love traveling so much today, and yeah, so it's absolutely been amazing. My parents are the ones who have engraved that childhood, that travel gene inside me. So they are totally my inspiration. Awesome session. Thank you so much, Jagadisan. Thank you, guys. I'm so
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And anything else? I'm also going to be live at 9 o'clock. So I'm going to be live at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. on Instagram. I'll be live with the wandering educators, and we'll be talking a lot about my travel stories. So if you are interested, join us at 9 o'clock. And you can put in some questions, comments, etc.
Yeah, sure, ma'am. We will join that session.
All right.
And
Thank you so much.
yeah, sure, ma'am. We are following you in Insta, ma'am. We will just surely join, ma'am.
Sure. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, everyone. Really nice speaking to you all. All the best.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Friends, I request my friends to fill the feedback form in the chat box so that we could improve ourselves for the next meet. The session is officially closed. Friends, you could fill the feedback form in the chat box and you can
Yeah,
leave.
guys.
I request my friends to wait to fill the feedback form. Yes.
Chat box.
Okay, friends, kindly fill the feedback form and the session is officially closed.